The Patriots keep winning, but are they finally showing some cracks? Is it too early to start thinking about the Bruins and the playoffs? And Turkey Week is here. We debate the best Thanksgiving sports traditions. Boston Globe Sports Report starts right now. Welcome to this Boston Globe Sports Report. I am Ben Volin, joined today by Globe sports writer Matt Porter in chair number 2. We're going to have Big Vince Wilfork stopping by later to catch up on how much weight he's lost in retirement and talk about the Patriots. And Danielle Dubois is going to be by at the end of the show to get the hot takes from the fans. All right, Matt, after further review, the Patriots, they win again. 9th straight win now. They're 10-2, number 1 seed in the AFC. All is well, right? I don't know. That win on Sunday against the Bengals starting to show their cracks a little bit. What concerns you the most about the Patriots right now?
It's got to be the offensive line and the injuries. Seeing Will Campbell go down, seeing Jared Wilson go down. Teams are never going to be totally up front with where they're at as far as health goes, but we're hearing maybe it's not as serious with Will Campbell as maybe the long faces after that game in the locker room showed. It's not a group that was deep before these injuries, so that's got to be number one.
No question. It's getting real now for the Patriots. They, escaped pretty much unscathed the first 2.5 months of the season. Just tremendous injury luck across the board. And there's no way that was going to continue. And it's starting to hit them now. You mentioned pretty much the left side of the line is going to be out. Sounds like at least a few weeks between Will Campbell and Jared Wilson. But I think ultimately, they got good news that Will Campbell's probably not out for the season with what appears to be a sprained MCL. And then Milton Williams along the defensive line. Injuries are definitely starting to add up right now. But honestly, that kind of leads me to what I'm really more concerned about, and that's just in the trenches. They're losing the fight. I mean, that goal line offense on Sunday in Cincinnati, that was pathetic. They had 7 cracks from the 1-yard line and couldn't punch the ball across. And then let's not forget the defensive line as well. That's 2 straight games now. The Patriots' opponent has averaged over 5 yards per carry against them. So a team, my worry, Matt, is that maybe they peaked a little bit too early and that they're starting to run out of steam, because when you can't punch the ball across from the 1-yard line and you can't stop the run, that is not a good sign as we're heading into the stretch run here.
Yeah, and if you're going to lose the battle up front, then you're hoping for a defense that is disruptive too. That you look at the turnovers that they've forced in the last few games. You had the Jets being the Jets, and then you had Joe Flacco staring down a receiver and giving a gift to the Patriots for a pick six. Maybe that turns around, maybe that's situational luck, but it's not a great feeling when you're looking up front and you're seeing Vidarian Lowe in there again for a lot of this, start of the stretch run here.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, injuries are something that every team is dealing with right now. Find me an NFL team that has all 22 of their starters available this time of the season. So the Patriots, you know what? As long as Drake May isn't the guy who's getting hurt, I think they're going to be able to move along. And, eventually, one of these weeks, they're going to play a team that is for real and can play for 60 minutes. I think what we saw on Sunday in Cincinnati, Matt, is how the Patriots, if they're going to lose in the playoffs, this is what's going to happen. It's because they can't control the line of scrimmage. It's because they can't stop the run. And frankly, the pass rush, too, has not been very solid. They didn't get any pressure on Joe Flacco for much of the day and really let the Bengals hang around a lot longer than they should have. So, they've benefited certainly from having one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, and the easy games are going to keep rolling here with the Giants coming up. But I think what we saw is how the Patriots are going to get defeated if it gets to that point in the playoffs.
Yeah, let the Bengals hang around, but also let them into the game early. The allowing points right off the bat, that's going to come back to bite you in the playoffs. You have to think. Not a way to have a long playoff run if you're going to be allowing points early. So the hope, obviously, Drake May making plays all over the field, middle of the field, long distance. So I think he's the hope right now for the Patriots.
No question. All right, now let's move on to today's hot take. And for all the doom and gloom surrounding Sunday's win over the Bengals, today's hot take, it's a reality check for Patriots fan. Hello, that was still a good win. It was an ugly performance and a lot closer than it should have been. But I almost find it more impressive when the Patriots win when they clearly aren't at their best. The injuries were unfortunate, but as long as Drake May isn't the one going down, the Patriots are going to have a shot each week. And all Sunday's game proved to me was that the Patriots, yeah, they're not perfect, and some weeks are going to be a struggle. But the most important part is that they keep emerging with the win, which is a really important aspect for a young team, learning under Mike Vrabel and learning with a young coach, young quarterback in Drake May. All right, that's it for the hot take. Coming up next, Big Vince Wilfork will be by to talk about the Patriots and what he's up to in retirement. Welcome back to the show, and today for the interview, we have a tremendous guest. We are joined by one of the heroes of the early days of the Patriots dynasty, Big Vince Wilfork. Thank you so much for being here, except you're not really Big Vince Wilfork anymore, kind of not so big Vince Wilfork. You look tremendous. How did you do it since you're playing? How many pounds are you down since your playing days, if you don't mind me asking?
At my heaviest, I'm 80 pounds down.
Wow.
And it all happened. My son got into baseball when I moved to Houston, so he got into baseball, so I was coaching baseball. And, you know, being out there in the Texas heat for 2 and 3 hours a day, one day I just got on the scale. I'm like, let me just see how much I weigh. And I was down 40 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, it kind of scared me because I'm like, I'm not doing anything different. I'm like, what am I doing? So I started paying attention to what I was doing, and I found out, like, I was eating half of my meals and my water intake. I was drinking 2 or 3 gallons a day, and it would just flush me out. And I never looked back. Once I realized, like, okay, I'm healthy, whatever, it's just the stress from football itself is gone, and now my body can kind of recoup. Once I found out I was okay, I was fine, and that's where all my weight came from. I still eat what I want, but I just don't have the appetite like I used to,
That's tremendous. Now you're here in Boston to be honored at the tradition. You're this year's Patriots nominee. You live in Houston now.
Yeah.
What kind of emotions hit you when you do come back to Boston?
And it's always because, they drafted me and they accepted me and embraced me from day one. And spending 11 years staying in Boston, I see what the city means to the great sport of Boston, all the sports, and not only the sports myself. People always loved me. They always supported me. They always laughed with me and joked with me. We always hung out. Even when I had my charity stuff, they always showed up and supported. And Boston fans grew into my family, and when I talk about Boston, I'm talking about family because that's how much this community means to me, especially my fans. And what greater way to have this award, not only for myself, but for the city, for the community, for the fans.
When you think back to your Patriot days, obviously you won a couple Super Bowls. What's your biggest memory that's not a Super Bowl win for you?
Probably just my interaction with the community. Coming to the Celtics game, even the Bruins game, going to the Red Sox game, just being amongst the fans and hanging out with the fans and doing my charity stuff and hanging out with regular people and doing my own shopping and people recognize it's me. You don't have a shopper? No, it's me. I shop. Or cut my own grass and people see me cut my own grass. I always wanted to relate to my fans in the community as, hey, I'm one of you guys. I never let me being a football player, no matter how much I made, no matter how much I played, I'm a human being. I shop like you guys. I put my pants on like you guys. I brush my teeth like you guys. And I think everybody who meets me, they see that and they feel that. And I think that's why a lot of people gravitate toward me because I'm real. I'm going to give them 100% authentic. This is what you get. That's
tremendous. You were at Gillette recently for the Patriots-Jets game on Thursday night. You're sitting with the Crafts in their box. What'd you make of the atmosphere and just, man, did it feel like the old days?
That's old days. I think that's the old days. That's a feeling I got just to hearing how the crowd was into the game and plus being the Jets and pumping out with the new uniforms. It was special, and that's what we're used to seeing, and we've been lacking that for the past 4 or 5 years. But I think with Mike back and the team going in the direction they're going in, I think we're going to get back to those winning ways, and because we need it, as a Bostonian, we need it, and I think we have the right person out there with this team to rally around them.
I mean, do you think this team's for real? Like, we were talking like maybe they can make the playoffs, and now it's like number one seed.
Real. They're real because I say we're real because I see the leadership and how they play. Mm-hmm. They play together, they gel, they play as one. Even when we took the L's, at the beginning of the season, they bounced back. We should have beat Pitt and Raiders, but it's okay. You live and you learn. But we go out and we beat a Buffalo team, a playoff team, and you go out and beat a Tampa team, playoff team. So we're gonna have a couple more challenges coming up, but I think we'll be fine. I really do, and I just like where we are and I like what we see.
That's tremendous. All right, Vince, we're going to end with 3 quick hitter questions here. We're going to go deep inside Vince Wilfork. I'm just very tough questions. What's one thing or the most recent thing you've been watching on TV or streaming right now?
Man, really nothing, because I've been so tied up with my business with barbecue sauce. So I haven't been watching much lately, honestly.
Fair enough. All right, Vince, you mentioned the barbecue sauce. What's the name of that sauce, by the way?
GHI stands for Gotta Have It.
Gotta
have it, yeah.
So when you're on what's your specialty on the grill or the smoker?
Pork ribs.
Yeah.
I'm a rib guy, but I cook everything. But if I have to cook my favorite meal, it's going to be pork ribs.
Oh, man, you're making me hungry right now. And then last question. You did win two Super Bowls with the Patriots, kind of bookends, one in your rookie year, one in your final year. Which one kind of means more to you?
My final one. I was older. I was more, the defense was basically based around me. I was more in tune in the game. But my first one, I was a rookie. I didn't play much. I'm coming in off of everybody else. So the second one, the Seattle one that we won, that means a lot more to me.
Awesome. Vince Wilfork, thank you very much. Congrats on the honor.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll have some more Boston Globe Sports Report. Welcome back to the show. And now, Matt, we head over to You Might Be Right. And it's Thanksgiving week. A tremendous week on the sports calendar, one filled with a lot of food and a lot of great traditions. Matt, you've got an article coming out later this week on bostonglobe.com about all the different traditions at the local high school level, some of the rivalries. What are some of the best ones that you came across?
I think you have to divide this into 2 eras, the pre-smartphone era and the post-smartphone era. We used to have a lot more wild bonfires that maybe got a few feet too high and might have had a dummy wearing the opponent's jersey thrown on top there. Not
very sportsmanlike.
No, but certainly fun. I went to Gloucester High. We used to have a bonfire. We don't do that anymore. There is a lot of fire involved in these rituals, it seems. One of the things that teams are doing is they'll gather the seniors around, and seniors are asked to bring a jersey or a cleat in a lot of cases, a pair of gloves, something from their 4 years playing, give a little speech about what the program meant to them, and then toss it in the fire. So that's something that a lot of teams are doing. My high school did not. Did yours have any traditions?
No, I went to lame high school. My town didn't have any cool traditions. Like I'm not from the Massachusetts area, so. But I mean, when I think of Thanksgiving Day football, Matt, I think of 10 a.m. kickoffs. I think of freezing cold temperatures. Probably a lot of rain in the forecast too. Drinking some cider, some hot chocolate in the morning, and toughing it out to watch your son or your family members, your community members play in a rivalry. There are so many great rivalries spanning over 100 years here, Matt. What are some of the top ones for Thanksgiving in this area? Yeah,
you look at like Needham-Wellesley, it goes back to the 1880s. A lot of these, there's a handful of them. Don't want to leave anyone out. I reported a little bit on St. Mark's against Groton. St. Mark's has Groton Week. Groton is the Zebras. So they take a papier-mâché zebra and they throw that into the fire. They had one, it's the St. Mark's team. They have a last tackle where the seniors do a tackle on a dummy. This year, a little bit of a twist. The coaches and the parents got together months in advance, fitted the parents for gear, shoulder pads and helmets, had them surprise their sons by running out. And parents doing a tackle on their kids. The St. Mark's coach told me some of the parents really leaned into it.
Yeah, that feels very cathartic, I bet, for a lot of parents. Matt, you know what my favorite Thanksgiving sports tradition is? It's right around 12:30 in the afternoon when the cameras from CBS turn from the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade over to shots of downtown Detroit and Ford Field, and we get ready for that kickoff, the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. As always, I get to sit back on the couch, crack open that first beer of the day, and settle in for about 10 hours of football, because now we have that nighttime game as well. So to me, Thanksgiving, nothing better than avoiding the family and getting to watch NFL football.
And a leftover sandwich.
Well, that's the next day. But yeah, just a tremendous week. All right, moving along now to Slam Dunk. And today's Slam Dunk, it's going to take us down to Chapel Hill. And with the Tar Heels now 4-7 and officially eliminated from even the lowest of bowl games, I'm going to say it, Bill Belichick will not be UNC's coach in 2026. he'd probably be out tomorrow if not for his contract, with North Carolina still owing him $20 million guaranteed over the next 2 years. But a large chunk of Tar Heel Nation didn't really want Belichick in the first place and has to be embarrassed by the team's poor play and the tabloid-creating behavior by Belichick and his girlfriend. Here's a slam dunk. Belichick and Jordan Hudson will do something to embarrass UNC within the next 9 months, and a group of wealthy UNC boosters will buy Belichick out and pretend this era of football never happened. All right, moving on now to breaking it down. Bring back Matt Porter. It's Thanksgiving now. Historically, over the last 20 years in the NHL, 77% of teams that are in the playoff field now make it at the end of the season. Matt, the Bruins are in the playoff field right now. Actually had a good start to the season. What do you think? Playoff chances?
They are a playoff team all day for me. I predicted that they would miss the playoffs. I think I was the only Globe hockey writer to say that. They are making it. This team is playing a very competent brand of hockey that is repeatable no matter the opponent. They're smart defensively. Their problem is scoring. It's going to be scoring. We knew this going in. David Pastrnak is one of the best players in the world. He's made Morgan Geekie a potential 40-goal scorer. If I was going to have a hot take, it would be that Morgan Geekie actually finishes with 40-plus goals. He's got a rocket of a shot, and now he's playing with one of the best line mates that's getting him space to really step into some of those shots. But, they're a team of grinders, a lot of close games for them. Defense and goaltending is really good on most nights. It's a wide-open Eastern Conference. There's no way that they can't get in. Feels like a
slim margin of error, though, when you are having to grind out these wins. And it's funny, you say scoring's an issue. I thought they were among the top teams in the league in scoring goals so far, with Geekie having that surprise season. But there is going to be a slim margin of error for the Bruins. And what do you make of the fact that, they're winning a lot of games against these Eastern Conference teams, but, man, they go out west and they get smoked every time? Yeah, the West is better than the East this year for sure. There's a lot of young talent on the rise. Look at the games they played against San Jose and Anaheim, even L.A. Those are teams, LA's been there, but San Jose and Anaheim are two examples of teams that are coming up. The Bruins are just unproven, in their depth scoring. Guys like, Murat Husnadinov's getting a great run now, but guys like Mittelstadt and Arvidsson, they're out, and they weren't really performing that well when they were in, so scoring's tough. All right, Matt Porter willing to call it. Bruins will make the playoffs. Okay, coming up next, Danielle Dubois is coming by to get the hot takes from the fans from Gillette Stadium. Coming up next on Boston Globe. Welcome back to the show. And Matt, now let's head to our segment, Wicked Loud. We're going to bring in Danielle Dubois. Danielle, you were recently out at Gillette Stadium. You get some hot takes from the fans. What do you got for us this week?
That's right. Patriots fans always have so much to say when they chat with us. So let's start off with Connor and a Patriots hot take.
Patriots winning the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's hot.
Patriots winning the Super Bowl. We just chatted about them maybe having a few cracks. But, Matt, do you think they could win the Super Bowl, even get there?
I think it's a pretty hot take. I don't see it. This season can't be like a magical fever dream, right? This ride has to end at some point, right?
I mean, it's not nearly as hot of a take now as it was 2 or 3 months ago. I would have called you certifiably, insane if you had said that back in August. So, they have the best chances in the AFC to win the number 1 seed. There's no team out there that you look at as clearly more dominant than the Patriots. So it's definitely possible. That said, I'm not expecting it, but you know what? They've been sprinkled with magic unicorn dust all season long. It happened in 2001. Why can't it happen again in 2025?
That's the thing.
Drake May's in his second season, too. I think Tom Brady was in his second season that year also.
Vrabel comes back. Yeah, it's oh, man.
So let's say it. Patriots are definitely winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Stamp it.
It's destiny, right?
Yes.
I don't think it's a hot take, buddy.
Our second Wicked Loud comes from Gary, talking about a Red Sox star.
Garrett Crochet, I think he's going to win the Cy Young next year. He had a great year.
Cy Young for Garrett Crochet. Ben, do you think he can do it?
Absolutely. I thought there was a pretty good case for him to make it this year. I know maybe he didn't lead the league in WAR, and that's all we do is just give it to all the awards to whoever leads the league in WAR. And, Tarek Skubal is always going to be there. But, yeah, absolutely, Crochet is going to be a perennial Cy Young contender.
I love it. Skubal gets traded to a team that he's going to be unhappy. He wishes he didn't leave the Tigers. He doesn't get traded to the Red Sox, and Crochet just takes off, cruises.
I mean, he had a great season with the Red Sox this year. I would not be surprised. I don't think that's too hot of a take. Now moving into Saved You a Click, we're going to start it off with a birthday celebration of a 5-year-old little girl. She opens up a gift that happens to be a Drake May jersey. I mean, I want a Drake May jersey. That would be my reaction too. Matt, what's your reaction to this video?
I'm guessing this wouldn't have happened if it said Jones on the back.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit different of a reaction, I would say.
Yeah, at every Patriots game, you see at least 15 to 20 fans with the number 10 jersey and the duct tape with May on the back over the Jones. But this is tremendous. Where's this video from, Danielle? Do you know?
I think it's from the New England area. I'll need to double check. But, I mean, look at her reaction. It's too precious to not include today.
This is a lot like last week when we talked about Drake May's wife's Instagram feed and how wholesome it. Drake May just brings out all these wholesome reactions from people. You got to love it.
Oh,
Shoot,
yeah.
you got to love it. Aw, shucks.
Our second Saved You a Click comes from the Las Vegas Grand Prix for F1 this weekend. Now, a lot of viewers couldn't view it on cable or ESPN, so they turned to the public street cameras of Vegas. I mean, I get it. I would be doing the exact same thing if I didn't have Fubo Ben. What are your thoughts?
That's hilarious. People never cease to amaze me how smart and creative they can get sometimes to work around some of these rules. That is awesome. I had no idea that existed. So that is really impressive. Kudos to you people who thought of that.
This is reminding me of watching any kind of lower level hockey game where there's like somebody's laptop set up with just the camera at center ice. That's, gosh. How do you know who won watching this?
How do you know who won watching Fubo? I mean, who knows? It's Formula One. All right. Danielle Dubois, thank you very much. All right, let's finish the show with our Hail Marys. Matt, you go first.
I am saying the Bruins are going to wind up a lottery team, but that is going to be because they own Toronto's first-round pick. Toronto is going to finish near the bottom of the Eastern Conference, and the Bruins are going to draft a superstar with that pick. Sorry, Toronto.
Love it. All right, my hot take, the Patriots, they've been living dangerously. They're going to lose a game that they're supposed to win. It's going to happen eventually. It might happen this coming Monday against the Giants, who have been a feisty team despite their bad record. All right, that's it for the show. Thank you, Vince Wilfork. Thank you, Matt Porter. Thank you, Danielle Dubois. I am Ben Volin. We'll catch you next time on the Boston Globe Sports Report.